happened there? Welcome to the Chronic Health Collective. This isn't just a community, it's your fresh start. We're gathered the best coaches and experts to help you reclaim your energy, heal you from the inside out, and of course, to live with purpose. Whether you're longing for more energy, deeper healing in your relationships, or a life that feels more aligned and fulfilling, you're not alone anymore. Welcome to our show, everyone.
Welcome to the last show of 2025. So we have us, of course, Minna Kristy and Cable with us today, and this is the last episode of 2025. Let's start with Kristy. How do you feel about this year?
Well, that is a loaded question. This last year was just chaotic, energetically. Just woo! A lot of people. I know a lot of people were feeling the pressure and the stress, and then other people were just like riding it like a roller coaster. For me, it's been definitely a roller coaster, ups and downs and loop-de-loops and. But I'm excited about moving into 2026 because I know there's some really important and big changes coming, and it's really all about life is an inside job. So I'm excited about what's about all of us coming together, especially here on the collective, because we have such amazing people like you guys in Cable to help us along the journey. So yeah, my attitude is I'm gonna fear nothing and get excited about everything and just say no to anything that doesn't resonate with me and just ride the wave.
I love that. How about you, Cable? How's 2025 been treating you?
It's beat me up and knocked me down. Looking forward to 2026.
That's pretty straightforward there, Cable.
You need more of 2025?
Yes,
You want a little bit more details than just beat you down. Like, how badly were you beaten down?
2025, just learned a lot about all sorts of things, but had the opportunity to help a lot of people and a lot more horses than I have ever in my entire life. So that was interesting, helping horses, and found that I have a really nice skill set of helping horses and people and plants and animals. But looking forward to 2026. There's lots of new things on the horizon, and helping even more people around the world, which I've always enjoyed, helping additional people in other countries besides the U.S. So that's always. So 2026 is a continuation of 2025. Why not have every year as a continuation of the previous year?
I love that. That is interesting. I didn't know you can help horses. I know you can help all of us, right? So, Minna, what have your challenges been for 2025?
I feel like 2025 is is an upturn for us. Like beginning of year, I think financially, politically, economically, even health-wise, right? I think 2025 is when we actually start turning around, right? Because like for the past 5 years, it's been going downhill. Things aren't really going well for us, right? So we've been struggling. We've been trying different things, and some things work, some things don't. And eventually, I think 2025 is actually when we actually figure out a formula that we can work with that was going to work for us. So I think it's a good turning point for us.
I agree. I think 2025 was the year for us when everything started to click. Like Kristy says, we've been meeting so many amazing people, from my first consult with Cable, seeing the possibilities of, like you said, We thought we were in a great position, health-wise, intuitively, and everything. And there was just a lot of wake-up calls that even for us that do a lot of work, there's always work to be done. So it was really nice to know there's always more to learn and always more that someone can get more out of you to help you get you to where you are. But more so, I think helping you get to clarity. I think that's a big part of what we learned in 2025. So
yeah, I think it's thanks to collective. I think we're learning to listen to our intuition a little more, right? What do you think, Kristy?
Oh, intuition is a huge thing with, so everyone probably already knows that I'm a caregiver for my mom. My mom is developing medium talents. She's been, people have been visiting her and talking to her. And she at first thought it was her vision problems. I'm like, I think your vision problems are helping you get bypass your eye reality that you see in the physical world and see more with your mind. And they come and talk to her. I've been having to, I'll go in her bedroom and her bedroom will be cold. Interesting. Leave her alone and let her get some rest. And so it's kind of amazing talking about, about it with her. Like, she's always been really intuitive, and now with her life has settled down so much because she doesn't work anymore. I take care of her, and so now she's really digging into her intuitive abilities. It's really interesting, and so of course I'm always doing that. Cable and I've had quite the discussions on things like that. So yeah, that's a big deal. I think 2026 is gonna really be opening up a lot of people who have gifts, opening up their awareness of their own gifts, and I think that's so important, and it's going to be beautiful to watch. Yeah.
Maybe you tell the people in your mother's room to put on coats so they're not so cold. You won't feel cold. Okay.
I'll make
that. That's actually a good idea. Oh my God, that's too funny. I love that, Cable. I was gonna suggest next time you're in there, get your iPhone there and start just recording around the room. See if you pick up anything. What a visual spectrum doesn't see, the digital spectrum does.
Oh, that's a cool idea. I'm going to do that. I'll do that. I'll share it.
Or put your phone there, mount it on a tri-top, and put it into time lapse, and just let it record the night through and see. Who knows?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that, Cable? Am I just going a little crazy again?
It's not important to see these individuals. It's really, we're trying to help them heal up, change as quickly as possible. They will immediately leave. You might even walk into your mom's bedroom now and it will be normal temperature, because I've just told them to put on coats, and that's all I did. Then they left. So I've already changed the situation immediately. But you identify what is needed, and they don't stay around.
Oh wow, that's really cool.
I feel like we're talking about something that some people don't really believe at all. I'm kind of in the middle, like half believe, because I don't feel it, I don't see it. He obviously sees it, and I think you two also do, and you two will probably be more intuitive, more in tune with it. Can you explain maybe to the viewers, people like me, right? What exactly is it?
Well, everybody, the words like clair that start with clair, like clairvoyance is clear seeing, clairaudience is clear hearing, and it's just like it's through the veil where you can't see it physically. What some people can, I can't, but I can often hear or feel. Clairsentience, clear feeling. I can feel something near me or trying to communicate with me. And if I close my eyes and I tune in, it always comes, this is me. It doesn't come in words like we're communicating here. It comes in a whisper, like help or turn left. And and I'll be going. It happens a lot when I'm driving. I'll be going away I always go, and I'll hear turn left or something like that, and I'll go and I'll just turn and go another route, because I've learned to trust that when it comes. It's if I go the way, if I just say, oh no, I'm going to go the way I always do, I always end up in trouble. There's an accident and I'm late, or some ridiculous thing. So that's kind of how it started for me. How about you, Cable? What, Cable, you've been gifted your whole life with your abilities, I think.
Well, no, I've developed them, but when my dad passed away, I had about 7 conversations I needed to have with my dad that I didn't get to have before he passed on. And so one day I was asking, hey, Dad, is there a way that I can tell if you're in my room, if you're close by? And at that moment, I felt this like nice warm, like it's a warm feeling on my arm. And I knew it was my dad close by. So whenever I get this like nice, it's a special type of warmth on my arm, either side. Sometimes I'm driving down the freeway and I get a warmth on my left arm. I was like, Dad, why are you sitting halfway inside my car and halfway out? Okay, but we just have conversations. I know my dad's there, but at other times, my grandmother, my other family members are in the vehicle. I can tell that they're in the vehicle. My mother liked to drive, so that's where she usually shows up, in my vehicle while I'm driving, and that's another reason why I like to drive as well. I get to talk with my parents. They tend to be in that space, but when I go to visit people, sometimes all of those ancestors of the people that I visit, they come to they jump into my vehicle. They tend to like to ride with me wherever I go, but it's because that's fun, something that they hadn't experienced when they were on Earth. But it's not a bad thing. Some people like, there's some traditions, some cultures out there that say if family members are close by, they haven't gone on to live in their amazing spaces of life. And I don't view it that way. A lot of them are learning from us, and a lot of them are also, they sometimes need a little bit of additional help that they didn't have while they were here. And so often something like working on someone that had a injured ankle, and they're like, Cable, I was like, I'm working on the ankle. They kept on saying it's still a little bit more, still painful. And I then went back to their grandmother 4 generations back, also had ankle injuries, helped her heal up her ankle, and then the client that was living, ankle started feeling better, completely better. So there's a lot of injuries that we have here on Earth that actually can directly connect to ancestry.
That's interesting. I feel like there's a cultural component to our beliefs. For me, I mean, my family don't believe in it, but I do feel, sometimes I feel my cat beside me, because, we lost Patches about half a year ago, right? And I still feel him with us all the time, even though I cannot tell you exactly where he is. I just know that his presence is here. Mm-hmm. You have different family, we call them ghost stories.
Yeah.
They're actually not as pleasant as the experiences that you guys have.
Yeah, Cable, your experiences sound really good. Whenever I see something, that's sort of a foreshadowing of something not so pleasant. And it's usually, I found it is usually in times of, when I'm a little bit more depressed, despair, like in those times where areas of my life seems a little darker, is when I track more of the things that I don't want to see, type of deal. Right.
Okay. I've had people who like Cable that I cannot connect with my family members. They're like evil. And I'm like, don't invite your evil ancestors, invite your good ones, okay? Maybe in your happy times is like more happy ancestors to arrive in my happy times. I don't need to have the sad people show up in my life all the time. You can invite other people who are happier to step into your space on a more consistent basis. And then the person who you're like, yeah, you're sad, and you like in that moment, they probably are showing up to help you understand that they're probably the one person that you're feeling that you need to help in order to step out of your own sadness. It's not actually your sadness. It's this ancestor's sadness that you keep on feeling. And so we just help that ancestor. Why are you sad? And he just had a lot of really sad times in his life. It's like, have you decided to let them go? I've never thought of that I could just let them go. And so sometimes it's like a simple answer that you would think that anyone would think about, but often they don't. When they're on the other side, they tend to have this one overarching thought process, and that's really strong. Depending on how they left Earth, they can have this one thought, and it just continues for like thousands of years. This one thought, sadness. And he's like, hey, you can now let that go. You don't have to hold on to it forever and ever. It's like, I can let it go? Yeah. And then that might be as simple as what needed to happen, and you might not find yourself with that same ancestor showing up ever again.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, but Kristy, we're going to come back to you after the break, but for now, let's take a break first.
Everything we're made of contains light. From the sun that feeds our world to the energy that flows within us. With LifeWave X39, we've found a way to put that light to work. With X39, we achieved something remarkable in the field of wellness and science that others could not. By utilizing LifeWave's unique patented technology, X39 uses light to elevate GHK-Cu, a copper peptide known to support overall health and wellness. Unlike traditional light therapy, X39 uses the body's own infrared light to naturally increase vitality. By gently stimulating the skin with light, our non-invasive, non-transdermal X39 patches help you conquer your active lifestyle and pave a new way to vibrant health. Becoming a powerhouse is easier than you think. It all starts with your body and a little help from light. Place one LifeWave X39 patch on the body. Apply the patch to clean, dry skin in the morning. Patches may be worn for up to 12 hours before discarding. Keep well hydrated while using this product. Harness your natural potential. Reclaim youthful energy. Live long, live well, live young with LifeWave X39. Be the light. LifeWave.
The time has come for us, the parents who want more for their children and the teachers who want to love teaching again, to band together and stop the coercion and control and the crazy-making boredom. How? By making learning a joyful experience in a relaxed environment. By supporting and encouraging kids, not forcing or tricking them. Meet Kristy Boyd Johnson and the Barefoot Learning Club membership. Go to www.barefootlearningclub.com and find out more. Together, we can raise a generation of wildly capable and happy kids.
Welcome back to Chronic Health Collective. So back to you, Kristy. How do you feel about our topic so far? And let's tie it back to how we're releasing it for the past year and going forward next year.
Well, we were talking about intuition and connecting with ancestors and things. It's, for me, I have always had an overriding intellect. Like I'll know, and then I override it with my oh no, dot dot. And it always seems to backfire on me when I do that. So for me, this last year I've been really focusing on, no matter how weird it seems, to listen to that little whisper and do it anyway. And every time I do it, it never, intuition doesn't come to you in big whomping revelations. It comes to you in little tiny baby steps. But think about how much easier it is to move toward a goal, say, in little tiny baby steps, instead of trying to, run the 50-yard dash and make all the hurdles all at once. And it's that's difficult. So for me, I'm going to continue practicing really listening to my intuition and really tuning in. And one of those, Cable, you were saying about an ancestor, my grandmother on my father's side is always around me, and she had 3 brothers that were not good people. They were pretty much criminals. I never knew them, but my grandmother, I've told her she can be around me, my grandfather can be around me, but her brothers are not welcome, except for the 4th brother who I did know, and I loved him. He was really cool. So, and it works. People don't know that you can tell them you're not allowed to be here. And they have to obey you. So, if you're feeling, listen to your feelings. Your feelings are your guide. Your feelings, your emotions, those are the things that are showing you something that you're not seeing with your rational mind. And oftentimes it leads somewhere really unexpected, but it benefits you. It improves something. So that's my practice for the next year.
So for all the people that is less woo-woo, they don't know how to tap into their intuition. Cable, what do you think are some strategies people can, I guess they can use to maybe ask questions themselves? What are things that they should be letting go? Like, how do they move forward? Because I think a lot of people are holding on to so many thoughts, so many emotions, so many negative beliefs that they can't move forward.
I'm going back to that commercial on LifeWave. What came to me is related for Andy and his ancestry. You invite them to do some of the things that you are currently doing, and using LifeWave. I've never ever thought of inviting ancestors to drink carrot juice drink things that we like. Oh, this is cool. This is good for us. It's like maybe some of the habits we have right now in becoming chronically healthy, our ancestors need as well. And you can teach your ancestors to do the same type of actions so they can become healthy. It trickles down. We pass down our hair color. We pass down our eye color. We also pass down conversation, thought processes, and health thought processes. So if you can help your ancestors heal up, and that's what I was speaking about from a healing space, but just from a normal conversation space. Okay, hey, I know some of my ancestors haven't done the type of health regimens that I do, and why not invite them to do the same thing? It's going to trickle down to me even faster. I'm going to get even more help than I have now. So it's often people who are like, man, I've been dealt a low blow by my ancestry, and now I have all these health problems. Well, teach your ancestors how to change. If the more you can teach others what you know, the faster you learn it yourself. And often people don't have anyone to speak to. Friends on Earth, they're just like, I'm so alone. Well, you can talk to your ancestors. The more you talk to the ancestors, the more will show up, the more they'll learn, and the more you'll learn with them on what needs to happen in order for you to have the best health. And so I would say maybe invite your ancestors to use LifeWave even though I've never ever thought of that thought process before. But why not? You're using LifeWave, have them use LifeWave too. They might might lighten up their whole surroundings, and it lightens up your space as well. And so that's one way. And then think about people can when there's more organization on the other side, there's more organization here. So if people are feeling like they're very chaotic, very in disordered space, I like to work with the other side to see if there's disorganization over there. I help that organize, and then over here can also organize much easier and faster. That's probably sufficient. You have to ask me additional questions as
in the process at all, but I love the idea, because I think a lot of people, they blame their health on their genes, on their genetics, on their ancestry. So what you're saying, definitely, I can see how that can help, because then you can't really blame them if it was the ancestry. If you can talk with them and guide them to improve their health, ultimately their health will pass forward to your timeline. That's the gist I'm getting from what you're 100%. Saying,
right? 100%. Yes. Yep. I mean, I don't know how many of your ancestors were in car accidents, but we got wagons fell off wagons, all these different accidents. Like, hey, I'm changing my life. You can change your life as well. And if you fell off those wagons, you can heal up. You can change. You can get over that broken foot, that broken back. I've done it. You can do it too. And that helps them start changing. You're then better able to change as well and overcome your difficulties.
You can do that with emotions as well. Like you can, for me, the long history of abuse is something I've been consciously choosing to release. And the identity that goes with I'm an abuse survivor. I don't want that identity anymore. So you can do the same thing with, okay, like he just said, yeah, I know you suffered this abuse, but you can let go of that. You don't have to suffer from things that aren't happening anymore. You can let it all go. And what is it? 7 generations back or something. When we heal something, it affects our ancestry 7 generations back or something like that.
Yeah. I was thinking, Minna, related, your cat, you can tell that they're around. You can also like, hey, can you invite some of your friends? You get better. Like, oh, I know 1 cat's here, but what about, wow, I can tell there's 2 cats. And there's like 3 and 4 and 5. So there's more cats can show up than just the 1. They don't identify themselves, or they don't step in your space because you've not invited them. But if you're like, well, I actually only like 1 cat around me, that's fine. But if you'd like 10 or 20 or 100 cats, you could invite even more in your space for the fun of it, or allow your cat is like, wow, I asked my cat for additional friends to show up, and they did. My cat actually heard what I had to say, and then it occurred. So you're just testing. You're experimenting. What can happen? How does this show up in my life?
That would definitely make you a cat lady.
I never thought about it. It's like what you're suggesting to me is that you're asking me to invite things that I want to invite, regardless whether they're physical or not, right? So whatever it pleases me, invite them. So that's actually great advice.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
I've invited somebody said, yeah, I have this hurt hand, and can you help? And I was like, I invited a high-level hand doctor from the past to step into the space, and I talked with him for a little bit related to the hurt hand. It gave me insight into how to help the hand. So I invite experts of the past to help me out. from time to time. When I don't have access to doctors, living doctors, I can call on the experts of the past to give me insight.
I have dog protectors. If I ever am walking into any kind of situation, a dog will literally appear and walk beside me, and I will avoid whatever weirdness is out there because there's a dog with me, and I don't have a dog. And they'll come out of nowhere. There's a dog, and they'll be right next to me, and then I'll think, oh, because I'm who I am. Oh, this dog's lost. I have to help this dog. I have to, I'm going to take him home and adopt him. But they kind of disappear. So
That's interesting. Yeah, because it's like we talk about making connections, right? Making good relationships, and oftentimes just thought about is within humans, groups, right? What you're talking about, Kristy and Cable, is that we're expanding that network to dimensions that we haven't thought about before, and that actually makes our world so much bigger and so much more exciting, so much better. Right?
Yeah, I love that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I had someone.
Go ahead.
I had a friend who said, "Hey, Cable, I've given you a green dragon. He flies around and he helps you out." And I have this really huge green dragon that flies around, helps me out from time to time. So it's like some people these people are like thinking in their heads, they're like ill. It's like, no, these are actually beneficial, and it's beneficial to help. And for us, it's not. Some people could be in mental illness space, but there's also positive space of success. It actually helps Kristy get through difficult times when these protector dogs show up in her space. And so in all of our lives, we can have helpers to help us move through difficult times of life. It's like when we were young, we had a teddy bear. I had a teddy bear to keep me safe. And now as adults, we can also have similar type energies to help us out in difficult times.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for all those in 2025, how can you help those that haven't realized they need help? If that makes sense, right? Because a lot, what you said in the very beginning was pretty amazing to me, Cable. Because a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm so glad this year is over and next year is starting where I can finally do this." Because the year they basically say the same thing over, and they're doing the same thing over again. It's never good enough, and they're looking forward to a new year. But you're doing such amazing things. You actually say, "Well, I'm just looking for another amazing year that I did this year." But I'm sure there are a lot of people that's having that problem that didn't have an amazing year. They don't want the same year again, right?
Usually these people are two-dimensional people. They flip the page and they're on the next page. They don't. And so every year they flip the page. Their pages are like, maybe they have writing on one page and then they read the next page and then they read the next page. And they don't ever go back to knowing where they came from, where they're going. Once the page is cleared, they're like, "Oh, I'm on the next page." But for some reason, it's still flat, and I just cannot get to the depth of my life. Well, they're in two-dimensional page life. And the people who are two-dimensional also think the earth is flat, because it is. In their life, they have a flat earth. And if they add depth, all of a sudden the earth becomes round. This is a very deep concept, but we're talking about going into a new way of change, is adding depth to their life. It's like, I've never thought about it, me being on a page, and now I want to add depth. Then I become this human. I have depth. I'm not a page any longer. And there's a lot of page people out there. Sometimes they have a lot of addictions to two-dimensional images. That could be a two-dimensional person. It's like, I've always wondered why I'm different from the other people who like like something's different, and those people have depth to them. So becoming a three-dimensional person is amazing. And then moving into the fourth dimension, the fifth dimension, there's all different these dimensions that you can move and get more and more understanding about how life works for you.
But also, one of the things that we have to give up this idea that we're responsible for other people, unless they're your very young children, which of course you are responsible for. But in terms of people out in the community, we can love them from a distance. We can send them energy that they are free to accept or reject, because we can't inflict. If we're inflicting our will on them, then isn't that just the same as, when they try to coerce us into vaccinating or coerce us into anything that we don't want to do? So, and then I totally agree with Cable that there are 2D, 3D, 4D, 5D people, and the other thing is, don't compare yourself to where everyone else is. You fall into the trap of, oh, that person's a 2D person, I'm so superior. That's a trap. And then the other trap is, I could never live up to this person who, look at what this person is doing, and I'm not there yet. And that's another trap. You have to, you just always strive to be better than you were yesterday, to heal more than you did yesterday. And that's the only comparison you need is with yourself. Because otherwise otherwise you're just miserable. There's no point in that. No point in being miserable. Cable told me that my life purpose is laughter. And I
see that?
That stunned me. I was like, okay, because so much of the time we think our life purpose has something to do with our work. And I started thinking about laughter and what happens if I start joking with people who are kind of in a foul mood. And sometimes they get really angry and they get really nasty to me because there's a lot of narcissism around me. And then other times they lighten right up and it becomes this fun thing. So that concept of a life purpose doesn't have to be heavy. It can be light is really sitting well with me right now. And I hope that hits a note with other people out there. Like
that's perfect. And I like where we're going, but let's take a break first and we'll come back with more.
When you look in the mirror, do you see skin that's just dry, tired, and stressed? It's time for a new ritual. Introducing Deep Love, the Blue Botanical Face Cream by Coolness. We've captured their tranquil essence of blue botanicals in a cloud-soft formula that deeply soothes irritation and restores your natural, healthy glow. This isn't just skincare, it's an act of self-care. It's Deep Love. Find your calm only at coolness.com. Scan the QR code now to visit our website.
Welcome back to the Chronic Health Collective. So, Cable, I was just talking to Minna and during the break. I was actually pretty intrigued with your whole 2D, 3D, 4D, and 5D. And the question I was asking about how people sometimes they don't even realize they're lost, and it totally makes sense that they're in 2D because they're living at the moment. They don't see the mistakes they made in the past, and they have no vision or purpose going into the future, right? So if someone was in that space and they don't know they're 2D, right? What are some steps that people can start doing so they don't keep repeating the same year over and over again, sort of like Groundhog Day, that movie, that the same thing keeps repeating year after year, and then you say, oh, I'm just too old, or I got this health, my relationship sucks, my spouse sucks, my life sucks, because they're stuck in the 2D because they're not learning from mistakes and they don't have any higher vision or purpose moving forward. What are some tips that you can give? Of course, before working with them one-on-one, I know if you work on one-on-one, you probably get them easy in the 3D, 4D space, but they need to realize they are stuck in 2D. And, what is like some good steps for them to start realizing, oh, wow, I'm over here. What do I need to do to realize, to start seeing more so they can, I don't know if the best word would be to evolve almost, to become a better person of themselves, right?
Even knowing this concept is, you educate mental education helps someone move into more depth. Often, I initially said 2-dimensional people, but there's actually a 1-dimensional person. It's usually just a period on a sheet of paper. That's just one. There's just one little tiny point on a sheet of paper. Is there 1 dimension? And they're just like, I don't know. As far as I know, there's just like me. There's nobody else on earth but me, and I don't have any friends, and I'm just like here, and I don't know what to do to get to even to a length, time, of width. A sheet of paper is like a 2-dimensional person. They're not even an image; they're just a dot, and they feel like that, and they describe their life like that. It's like, okay, there's actually a length, time, width, and that equals 2-dimensional. That's not a point. I can move to a 2-dimensional, like length times width. So, okay. And then I can go to 3-dimensional. I can go length times width times height. That's 3-dimensional. Just thinking, just knowing that this even exists in the human race is to help them move to a new level of understanding. And so even to know this concept, some people automatically, when they hear this concept, they automatically move to 3D. They move from a 2D to the 3D just by hearing it. If you're having trouble moving into a 3D space, contact me or somebody that knows this concept and say, hey, can you help me add more depth to my 2-dimensional space? And there's lots of individuals usually talking through the situation. I kind of feel like flat. I'm always feeling my emotions are flat. My life's flat. I always have flat tires. Everything's flat. Okay, you got to ask more friends for help. I have to ask more. Yes, you have to ask. That's the depth of yourself is more people in your life. You have to ask for more help. If I get a flat tire, I ask for help. Yeah, you walk into town, you walk to the gas. Hey, I need help with this flat tire. Oh, because you'll meet more 3-dimensional people. The people who can help are usually the people who have depth to them. If you are finding all the people around you are not helping you sufficiently, you're not meeting 3-dimensional people. You have to okay, I got to find 3-dimensional people now. If your friends aren't helping you, you've got the wrong friends. Find new friends that will help you. Okay, that's probably a good first step of moving into the 3-dimensional and getting. It's like at the bottom of a boulder. You're getting squished by life. You're really flat. You're squished by the boulder, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna pull myself out of this boulder, and you start calling your friends and family. Goes, hey, I just wanted to tell you, I'm like I've been squished underneath this boulder for my entire life, and do you know how to help me get out? It's like, yeah. Have you read a book recently? A book is like half flat. It's like, I know. Read the whole book, and then you'll have depth. The whole book will be depth. Whole book, not just one page. I can read. If I read the entire book, I'll become 3D. Yeah, you read a lot of pages instead of just one page at a time, or looking for one image for long periods of time or lots of images. That's just one image, 2D. You're staying in 2D. If you read the entire book, you can get depth, the entire book. And then you read another book, and then you start asking for additional help. And then you pull yourself out of underneath the boulder. And it's like, hey, now I'm not so flat. I'm actually I have depth times width times I can move forward. That means I also have some forward movement. That's also a three-dimensional movement. Is being able to walk forward in your life into a new experience. And
That's
I was
awesome.
thinking, there's sometimes people can't change because, like, growing up, my mother liked to like, hey, Cable, this is how you organize the house. This is the living room. Everything needs a house where everything in the house has a certain location, and that's the location. The books go on the bookshelf. That's the house for the books. And if they're not on the bookshelf, they're not in their house. They're not feeling like they belong. You help organize your house by having everything in the house having their own little space of house. And so I actually, growing up, I was like, man, there's like all these different rules to change a house and organize. And the word organize had 1,000 images attached to the word organize. And I said, I got to change. I can't organize my house because all these negative emotions are attached to organize.
Mm-hmm.
I need to, so on that day I wrote, I'm going to change my room today. And I changed my room that day. Instead of organize my room, organize had a lot of negative energy attached to it. I switched that word out for the word change. I'm going to change my room and change my house today, change myself. Often people have words in them that are really heavy, and they're like, I don't know why I'm not able to make progress here. If you change your words to new words that aren't so heavy, you're probably able to make that change. Often New Year's resolutions, that's in a lot of people's lives, that's really heavy. Don't ever use resolutions ever again. Just throw it out. It's like, I'm going to do 10 different changes today for this new year. They didn't use resolutions. They're able to make those changes because the heaviness of the resolution, that word is not in their vocabulary anymore. They got rid of the heavy words, use light words, use bright light words, use really light words in yours. And if you identify any heavy words, get rid of those words, bring in the light words that'll allow you to move forward with gusto in 2026.
The feeling so going back to intuition, it's the feeling of the word. So if you say the word organization and you get this punching in your gut and your energy just comes down, that's a heavy negative word for you. Take that out. And in Cable's case, he became his new word, which gave him lightness and brought his energy up and felt doable. So everybody's different, so you have to find your own. But that's the rule. If it feels heavy and dark, it's wrong for you. If it feels light and kind of exciting, like you feel, ooh, then it's good for you. And that it can be that simple to make a small change just by, how does it feel to me right now? Like, do I want to go do errands right now? Ugh, no, I don't. But maybe I want to write a book. Does it feel good to work on my book today? Yo, that feels good. I'm going to do that instead. Whatever. Those are just stupid examples. But
No, but I feel like that's relatable in people finding work, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people think that work is a burden, right? It's just something they have to do. They hated it. But there are people that actually do enjoy the work, right? To people here in the collective, I think we all most of all do enjoy our work. And how I guess is there any advice to the viewers on how do they get in tune with the feelings sometimes? Because a lot of times they feel like the work is something they have to do, whether they like it or not. But maybe that's not the case.
Well, sometimes the reality of our world is that sometimes we need money and we have to go do a job because we need the paycheck. That's just a reality. There's no getting around that. We can't just go, oh, I just don't think I'm going to go to work today. I mean, if we're going to be very practical about things, but what we can do is say, what kind of work would give me that lightness? What excites me? What makes me feel good? And you can move toward that. And it doesn't have to be tomorrow you quit your job and then you have this new thing. You can move toward it and do it in steps. So you just go by, because I mean, most people have, rent or mortgage or something to pay, and they like to eat. So that's the reality. But you can move towards something lighter and that feels good at the same time.
So let's wrap this up. Kristy, what makes you exciting next year, the coming year, 2026?
What's what?
What makes you exciting?
What makes you excited? Yeah.
I think for me it's that I'm in the process of moving more towards something that I want, which is more aligned with who I am rather than holding on to my old identity as a teacher. I'm moving into something that's lighter. I don't even know what it is yet. I just feel it. It's kind of brewing. So I'm just writing a lot of journal to kind of process it all through. So that's what's making me feel excited right now.
That's awesome. Cable, how about you?
Well, I was thinking about longevity is the long haul of life. Sometimes it does take a longer period of time to identify what makes resilience in myself and others. And sometimes what's resilient for me is not resilient for somebody else. It's like, okay, maybe somebody else is lifting weights creates resilience and longevity for them. For me, I go to the gym and I pick up on every single other person in the entire space, and maybe I can't even lift 1 pound when I'm in the space. It's beneficial for me to maybe choose a different space to exercise and strengthen my muscles. Somebody who's like, well, how can you be a high performance coach and not be in the gym, not being exercising like somebody else? Is like, well, there's ways that I'm high performance coach, and for many, many years I call myself a high performance coach because I'm not doing what the other people would deem as a high performance coach. But I also found that I have the skill sets like a high performance coach, but it's not. I don't look the same as the high performance coach, but I also know something that high performance coaches don't know, and a large portion of their performance, they don't know how to increase or change the performances that I pick up on or understand in strengthening the muscle. And like the discus athlete that had a 6-month goal to lift a certain amount, and then he, within a day after working with me, he was able to lift his 6-month goal 6 months earlier, just by me helping him release shock from his childhood. So it's like, whole childhood experience, your whole life, you've built up shock inside of a person, and athletes do this all the time. And releasing that shock can increase 25, 50%, 100% their strength within hours, within days of doing that action. It's like, you're saying that I can get stronger, faster, even faster than I've even been schooled to get, or years and years and years of lifting and knowledge base. Someone can do that just by releasing shock from their childhood. They don't know this. So in that way, I'm a high performance coach because I have insights that nobody else has. And yeah, so for 2026, I have so many breakthroughs that every year I have breakthroughs. So it's just another amazing level to step into 2026 and think to myself, I have another year. of amazing breakthroughs, thousands and thousands of breakthroughs, world records, to help people achieve, as well as myself, achieve my own world records and other people's world records as well.
I'm so glad we had this conversation. So why don't we end with you and what excites you? And wrap it up?
I think, let's end this quickly. I don't want to go too long. I think moving into 2026, everything that we learned from the coaches, all of your inspiration, helping each of us, tap into which areas of our life that we're missing, right? Because to live a chronically healthy life, it's a balance of everything. And we talk about, health, nutrition, fitness, right? But like you said, there's so many challenges that we can still unlock. So I think I'm really interested in seeing all the things that we're going to unlock for the new year. And we're going to have a lot of new opportunities with new membership and everything, where the coach is going to be able to do this for all of our viewers out there. But why don't we close the show?
Yep. So this is the end of the year. So we're going to come back next year, same time, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. CST. We are on e360tv.com, and we are also on youtube.com at Chronic Health Collective.
We'll see you all next year.